I've always fancied myself a solid. Not completely made of stone, but the idea of being squishy and vulnerable somehow inflames my face flesh, and pangs of embarrassment strike through me. Afraid to say how twisted my emotions get me, how I'm so easily contorted by these evil little spirits we call feelings. It's easier to let people think me calculated and composed or immune to the sensitive sickness. Better to have them think that feelings thrown my way will not crack or fracture my tough exoskeleton than for the world to know that I am crippled by how much I care. Heartbreak is my weakness. Stoicism is my mask. Because I don't want to be the person whose battles broke them. To the eye, a time of peace is played across my body, and the villagers revel in merriment across my skin. But beneath the surface, bloody war throbs, and swords poke through my abdomen, reminding me that wounds you can't see still bleed. I survived, limping back bruised. But now, even the most insignificant feels pulse through my core, through my tender beater, and they wreck me, break me. No one can know. Don't let any of that sap show. I built myself up to stand so tall. So how can things that I deem so small, like stupid love songs or flooding rain, old pictured memories, spark little shards of pain that just consume me? This girl, she couldn't be knocked down by an abuser who used her, but letting tear flow go in front of another person hurts more than all the blows on impact still stinging from years ago. Because punching stone deals damaged knuckles, where hitting rounded edges leaves you susceptible to the swing back, and I never wanted to be a punching bag. I've been strong for so long. Propped myself up and stood in solitude, but lately I've started to lean to one side, cockeyed. And I'm afraid that if I don't gain some balance, I may slowly tip over all the way to the ground. If I'm stuck in the mud, is it okay to want strong fingers to pry me out? Hands warm on my arm and my waist, supporting just enough of my weight to where I default back into the upright position. I've always been alone. It's the shitty back road that I chose and stuck to it, because heartbreak is my weakness. Yeah, I've been pained, but I would take every single hit again before I would be the reason for somebody else's strain, for someone else's letdown. Heartbreaks that aren't even my own bring out my stone-cold, jaded eyes that I hide my water-laced emotions behind. I can't handle seeing people hurt. On my way to work, I saw a dotted-faced boy, tangled blonde hair, sticky jam hands, and a smile. A bright balloon followed him along, Ninja Turtle friends swaying in the wind on shining mylar. Mother's gaze lost deep into an iPad. The string unwound from his palm, and despite chubby arms reaching up, it floated out into the clouds until it was gone. Naturally, as children do, his eyes erupted with saltwater disappointment, and cries for his floating friend would not bring it back. The moment was fleeting, but it uncomfortably swirled in me as I witnessed those longing eyes locked on the sky. Longing eyes that felt like mine. There was a significant pressure applied to my chest, ribs contracting. Petty sorrow sucked up from this boy into me. They call it empathy. But I just feel like a sponge, and sponges are soft. I want to maintain my stiffness. But there's this pull, this desperate need to sop up energy, to relieve that helpless grasp of sadness's gripping, greedy hand. Quietly soak it up, but act like it doesn't faze you. It works for the moment. But do you know how filthy sponges get if you don't wring them out? I've been seen as the problem solver for my rational, proactive leaps, but some heartache you just can't wipe away. And I feel guilty. Because a little boy with a balloon shouldn't leave me so internally useless. And it's moments like these that I realize I can't outwardly feel beauty like I should. I shrug it off as indifference. And I've rejected all of these lovely ideas for fear of that longing disappointment. Maybe it's my heart in general that's my weakness. I've always claimed that the cinematic, romantic, gooey mess of Warm was just for people who refuse to embrace the fact that fairy tales don't exist. So sometimes when I feel as if I may fall prey to intimacy, I pretend as if my heart has a switch. Click. Turn it off. Because who wants a stone in their honey? I flipped the switch too many times now. It's stuck. And as the days pass, within my bar cage of bones within my chest, my sponge expands, emotions leaking out. I continue to try and suck them all up, but saturated as I am, there's not a whole lot of space left. And I feel things differently now. I crave to let it all out when my body wants to feel something, to not shut myself off from being moved by something beautiful. To feel empathy, but to not let it overtake me. To pop the cork and unbottle all of my sensitivity and my femininity because it's not a weakness to feel. Or to love so deeply that it hurts. It's better to hurt than to feel crushingly numb. Because the thing about soft things is that they bounce back, where hardness falls flat. So then my pride claws at me not to cry. Tearfully, I run into those arms. Catch me before the impact, so that I don't shatter. Because that, I would most certainly feel.